Maraming salamat po. You may now take your seats, and I would like to call to join us here at the head table, of course, our Secretary of the Department of Science and Technology, Secretary Fortunato Dela Pena. I'd also like to call Assistant Secretary for International Collaboration, Leia Buendia, and they will be joined by Dr. Edwin Villar, Deputy Executive Director of PICARD, and Engineer Raul Sabularse, Deputy Executive Director of PSHARE. So thank you to our friends in media. Thank you for joining us in this conference. We are also joined today by Dr. Thomas Neil Pascual. He is a Balik scientist, and his field of expertise is in the area of nuclear medicine. Please recognize Dr. Pascual. We're also joined by some of our doctors. Okay, they best represent what DOST has done for their business to upgrade their processes and production capability. So let's welcome Jojo and Sonito Tamase of Nature Earth Corporation, the original makers of Malunggay Pandesal. All right, so since we will be talking today about how DOST contributed to the country's performance in the Global Innovation Index, nalampasan po natin 19 countries, all right? And so this perspective will not be lost to us, and I'd like to call on Assistant Secretary for International Collaboration, Leia Buendia, to provide the welcome remarks and the framework by which we are gathered here to discuss the topic today.
Thank you, Director Burgos. Magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Our Honorable Secretary Fortunato Dela Pena, Dr. Edwin Villar, Engineer Sabularse, Director Richard, and our media partners who are our link to disseminating information. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this Technology Media Conference on the Global Innovation Index. We thank our friends in the media for once again joining us, the DOST family, on this occasion. On behalf of our DOST Secretary, who is actually joining us today and giving you the information about the Global Innovation Index, we welcome everybody and thank you very much. This event is to inform the media and of course the Filipino people of our contribution in the ranking of our country in the Global Innovation Index. For the information of everybody, the Global Innovation Index, or GII, gauges an economy's innovation performance. It's a comprehensive analysis of different innovation dimensions using various indicators. So why do we have to measure innovation? Why is it important anyway? What do I get out of it? They say innovation is recognized as a central driver of economic growth and development. Having said that, the report will help us, media, policymakers, and businessmen alike, in making informed innovation policy recommendations, informed information that will be disseminated. For instance, we can craft policies that can address challenges of weak R&D funding and innovation linkages. Another reason why we are gathered here today is to celebrate the good news. I am certain most of you, or all of you, have heard of it. In the 2019 Global Innovation Index report, the Philippines rank rose from 73rd in 2017 to 2018 to 54, breaking the top 55. Our ranking skyrocketed from about 19 notches. By the way, that is out of 129 countries and economies around the world. We hope that in this presentation of our good secretary, we will be able to walk you through various programs and projects of DOST that made significant contributions to leapfrog our innovation status. We at the department have long been promoting inclusive innovation even before this has been indicated. From the time that our secretary was undersecretary, from the Philippine innovation that he has produced to the recent Innovation Act. Looking back, I remember the time when the Philippines was still classified as innovation follower. However, as a believer of world-class Filipino talent, I believe that mere follower is not desirable. The Filipinos have contributed a number of game-changing solutions to the world. The incubator of Dr. Fe del Mundo in 1941, the first graphics accelerator of Mr. Dado Banataw, the video phone of Mr. Gregorio Sara in 1955, and so many more. I can stand here the whole day and tell you more of the innovations that we have done. That is why I am very pleased to report that for the first time this year, the Philippines is now being categorized as an innovation achiever. You see, these outstanding accomplishments, long delivered before other economies achieve their economic status today, show that if we place a firm and unequivocal commitment to innovation, such as what we at the DOST is doing, can turn things around. In our Ambition 2040, innovation is recognized as one of the three major components of fostering economic growth, along with infrastructure and competition. With our intensified efforts in fostering innovation, especially with the passage of the Philippine Innovation Act and Innovation Startup Act, we are optimistic that our ranking will further improve in the coming years. We can once again be a leader in innovation. We in DOST are one with the Filipino people in ensuring that it will be ours for the taking. Of course, with the help of everybody, especially our media friends. I hope that we'll have fruitful discussions today. We encourage you all to share your insights and ask questions. Once again, thank you. Mabuhay ang Pilipino.
Thank you, Asek Leia. So we are very hopeful that we are on the right track towards developing our country and becoming a top innovator in this region. Now, a few minutes ago, while we were waiting, I was informed that the good secretary nasa CROWNE yan daw siya. Sabi ko, ano naman kayang ginawa niya at nahuli siya. But he is here with us, true to his commitment to become our leader in science and technology, and fresh from receiving the UP Alumni Association Lifetime Achievement Award. Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Secretary Fortunato de la Pena.
Good morning, everyone. Siguro ang babatiin ko yung mga members ng media. As I call your name, wag na po kayong tumayo at wala na papalakpak. From PTV4, we have Karen Joyce Villanda, Ruel Velasco, and Larry Doon. From ABS-CBN, we have Rolly Marcelo, Williamson Cagadas. From WhatsApp Philippines, Ross De Rosario. From Leader News Philippines, Nolan Ariola. From NBM Online TV, Redentor Oro and Rafi Rico. From DWBL 1242, Horizon Chaser. From Malaya, Paul Icamina. From SciDev, Nora Gamolo. From the PCOO, Raisa Kabugwang. From Dispatch Today, Estrella Gallardo. From UP Diliman, Dave Centeno. Liga ng mga Broadcaster, Camille Melendez. From News Bites, Jen Tabili. From TV5, Bim Santos. From Filipino Mirror, Benedict Abayagal. And from DCXL, Cathy Cruz. Okay? So, kung hindi kayo natawag, siguro hindi pa kayo nakakapirma sa attendance. Ano? Tinanong ko kanina kung doon sa pagpirma ng attendance ay nilalagay ang age. Kasi may mga napuntahan akong meeting na hindi lang gender ang hinihingi ko, pati age pinapalista. Hindi ko alam kung saan ginagamit yon. Anyway, before I start, nabanggit na kanina ni Director Burgos yung presence ni Dr. Thomas Pascual ng dati sa International Atomic Energy Agency. Nakakatuwa po ang istorya kung paano napauwi si Dr. Thomas Pascual. Nag-attend ako ng general meeting ng IAEA noong November. I think that was November. And he was introduced to me as a Filipino scientist whose contract with IAEA, I think 6-year contract is about to end. Okay? So, he was on the, shall we say, at a stage where he is going to decide whether he is going back to the country where he resides at that time, which is Australia, correct? Australia, or something else. So I asked him to, why don't you try coming to the Philippines because we need your expertise in nuclear medicine. And so I think by March, he had already made a decision, and we were able to get the services of Dr. Tom Pascual in a very high priority area now, which is nuclear medicine. Now, you might be wondering why the usual faces are not around. Yusek Ibarra, the council directors, they are in a meeting in Bangkok. This is the so-called E-Asia meeting. This is one of the collaborative programs for research that is spearheaded by Japan. Okay? And the mechanics there is that it is actually a partnership research program, usually involving 2 or 3 countries that are interested in a common area of research. And they contribute resources to pursue that kind of research. So they are now there so that they can trace out the final list of projects where we will be involved in. Now, you might also probably be wondering, or you might observe a little later, that in the usual technology media conferences that we have, we focus on specific technologies or problem areas. I remember we talked about the marine environment, we talked about food safety, we talked about ano tungkol sa heart, biomedical devices, and other topics that are very specific to technologies or products. But today, we will talk on a more general topic, which is the Global Innovation Index, and shall we say, the theme is DOST KAAGAPAY sa PAG-UNLAD, Accelerating Innovation Through Society-centric Science and Technology. But before I present that, I just want to share with you, hindi naman siguro bawal, topics lang that took a long time to discuss at the cabinet last night. Kaya kami po anong oras na ba kami? 1:45 na kami natapos. Kasi mga importante ang topics. Mahaba ang diskusyon sa National Land Use Act, mahaba ang diskusyon sa dengue. And there is one topic na noon ko lang naintindihan kung ano yun, yung Supreme Court decision on the Mandanas versus Ochoa case, which is really on the percentage of IRA that is being claimed by the local government units. Anyway, so lastly, I also would like to share with you, kahit hindi kayo interesado siguro dito, yung experience ko. About 2 days ago, I was in Caraga to open the Regional Science and Technology Week celebration in Caraga. We, of course, in Caraga, our offices are located in Butuan City, and most of our facilities are located in Butuan City. Even the Philippine Science High School is located in Butuan City. Even our program on smart cities involve Butuan City. But surprisingly, the event on the Regional Science and Technology Week was located or based in another city called Bayugan. Tama pa? Bayugan City. Okay? In Agusan del Sur ba yun? Del Norte. Del Sur daw. But really, we were surprised because they really exerted a lot of effort to have a successful holding of the Regional Science and Technology Week there. I learned that the local government, the city of Bayugan, took care, okay, at no expense to us, of the venue, sponsored our lunch, okay. And what was interesting was that when I suggested during the media conference, kasi tinatanong ng mga media, ano daw ba ang collaboration namin with the local government units, sabi ko, kung wala pa man, ang isinasuggest ko ay tulungan kami ng LGU in putting up and strengthening cooperatives na pwedeng matulungan through technology interventions. Kasi karamihan ng tinutulungan ng DOST, usually yung mga small and medium corporations and also single proprietorships. But meron ding natutulungan ng mga kooperatiba, pero hindi masyadong marami. But in this particular year, kaya ako naisip yung kooperatiba, ang nanalo doon sa aming best setup adapter, Small Enterprise Technology Upgrading Program, is a cooperative in Bislig. I forgot the name of the exact location, but it is in Bislig. Ano na naman yun? Surigao del Sur. Okay? So I was in 3 locations, not too near each other. Butuan, Bayugan, and Bislig. Parehong B pala yun, ano? BBB. Okay, build. In a matter of actually siguro that was around 16 hours in all that I stayed in Caraga. We honored the scholars in Bayugan, and it was another very interesting event, the sharing of the top graduate DOST scholar, okay, who is 27 years old, male, summa cum laude in BS Secondary Education, major in Mathematics. And in-explain niya kung bakit siya 27 years old na graduate. He worked for 7 years as a houseboy, as a security guard, as a janitor, as a factory worker, until he was able to get a DOST scholarship. Okay? So, summa cum laude, hindi biru-biru yun. Anyway, so let me now proceed to our presentation on the Global Innovation Index 2019. I would like to welcome you to this 10th Technology Media Conference, and I'm happy that our friends from the Philippines, Philippine press, and also those that are working internationally have given their support here today. This is a significant one as it will cover all concerns by individuals, members of the academe, and companies, be it large companies or small cooperatives. DOST is committed to vigorously advance science, technology, and innovation of Filipino-owned companies, of universities in the Philippines, of research and development institutes, as stipulated in the Philippine Development Plan for the period 2017 to 2022. We have adopted the byline Science for the People, okay, hoping that this will enhance the social fabric, reduce inequality, and increase our potential for growth. So, as such, we will discuss with you the technologies and programs that DOST has undertaken to help boost our country's rank in the latest results of the Global Innovation Index. This is not to say that DOST is the only one responsible for bringing up our ranking in the Global Innovation Index, but we would like to show to you what were the programs that we think have contributed to this improvement in rankings. Okay? So the next slide already shows the Global Innovation Index and the trend between 2014 to 2019. Okay, so you start with the blue, and then the red, and then the gray, and then the yellow, and then the ano ba yun? Light blue. Okay, to represent the years 2014 up to, tama ba yun? Up to, ano year yung, yung code, no? 2015 to 2019. 5 lang yung nakikita kong bars eh. So, 20... Country ba yun? Hindi. Yung country eh, hiwa-hiwalay. Philippines, Vietnam, Thailand, Indonesia, India, and so, yung bars in a country represent the years, okay? The latest of which, as shown in the case of the, wala dyan yung yung 2019 pa. Actually, the bars, dito sa last yung 2019. Kaya pala, binibilang ko, dapat 6 na bars, kasi 2014 to 2019. So you can see the behavior or the trend, okay, in the rankings, okay, until we suddenly hit 2019, okay, where we now have a rank of, ano ba yun, 52? 54 ba yun? Oo. 54, yung dark blue. Okay. Nalilito ako sa ano ng kulay. So 54 ito, pero dun sa 2018 saan yun? 73. Hindi, India yung tinuturo ninyo. Ayun sa unang-unang Philippines, yun. Yun, 73. Yan, okay. So the ranking, okay. ang napansin ko, yung location nung nung taon ay hindi pareho, ano? So dito yung rank 73 nandun sa rightmost side. Dito naman sa bago sa 2019 nasa leftmost side. Anyway, the contributions, okay, are in terms of strengths, and of course there are weaknesses, and where we made a big leap. So it says there in the strengths, where you have the red prints, the graduates in science and engineering, we made a very high ranking there. And also in terms of research talent. So these are related to human resources, okay? And there are others na hindi pa ganun kataas, like the so-called trade competition and market scale. The firms offering formal training, this is training to improve innovations. The high and medium high-tech manufacturers, this is specifically on the export side, and the ICT series services, okay, exports. On the weakness side, we see the sad rankings. The ease of starting a business is ranked 119 out of 129. The expenditure on education is number 112 out of 129. The gross expenditures on R&D, this is one of the input indicators, is 98 out of 129. The pupil to teacher ratio, 96. And then the tertiary inbound mobility is 108. Ito yung mga papunta rito mga experts, okay? Hindi yung palabas. Now, we have the big leap, as indicated here, are coming from the University Industry Research Collaboration, where we ranked number 25. The so-called knowledge absorption, where we ranked number 14. The high-tech net exports, where we ranked number 1. The Philippines number 1 in terms of the export products that are high-tech. And the creative goods and services, we ranked number 40. So you can see which particular factors lifted us from a ranking of 73 in 2018 and also in 2017 to a rank of 54 in 2019. Which for the first time we were included in the group of innovation achievers. Okay, we were grouped. Okay, we will make part of the group of innovation achievers due to the remarkable performance in knowledge diffusion and knowledge absorption. So it is worth noting that the Philippines is scored above average in almost all innovation dimensions, and we would like to believe that our various S&T contributions at DOST has contributed to this improvement, okay, particularly our inclusive innovation strategy, okay, which started way back in 2007 when DOST spearheaded the formulation of the Philippine Innovation Strategy, okay, and named it Philippine Innovation Strategy. That was 2007. Up to today, when we have already a new signed law, which is the Philippine Innovation Act. Now, in between, we had, of course, the Technology Transfer Act of 2009, which I think also provided a lot of stimulus to innovation, because it encouraged our researchers to come up with outputs, okay, where economic benefits will go to them mostly. And then we have the Balik Scientist Act of 2018, and now together with the Philippine Innovation Act, we have the Philippine Space Agency Act. Now let me go to the big leaps in GII ranks, just to further emphasize. You can see number 20 is trade competition and market scale. From 30 in 2018 to 20 in 2019. on the creative goods and services from 104 in 2018 to number 40 in 2019. And I would like to believe that our, shall we say, focus on trying to commercialize the outputs of R&D has contributed to this, as well as our support to startups dealing with creative goods and services, particularly our technology business incubation support, okay, has contributed to this improvement from 104 to 40. We cannot, of course, get the details of what were really the specifics, okay, of the increase in rankings, as this is really something that belongs to the organizers, which are the World Intellectual Property Office, the Cornell University, and the INSEAD in France. In innovation linkages, the jump was from 93 to 71. I would like to think that our industry academe linkages, particularly our incentives for collaborative research, as well as our bilateral agreements, has helped in this improvement in rankings in innovation linkages. Okay, so this year alone, 2019, we signed agreements with France, with the US, with the UK, with China last week, and with Iran. Okay. Now, on knowledge absorption, we also had an improvement from number 32. High na tayo noong 2018 pa at 32 to number 14 in 2019. And in the University Industry Research Collaboration, very specific ito, from number 56 in 2018 to number 25 in 2019. The next slide will show us something that is really related to human resource development, and we can see that our rank, okay, in human resources as an innovation pillar are all high, particularly the graduates in science and engineering, okay, number 18, and in terms of research talent, number 6. Okay, this is remember, this is out of 129 countries. And I would like to think that our massive programs for scholarships in science, technology, engineering, and math have contributed to this big leap in graduates in science and engineering. Imagine we are taking in, at the moment, 9,000 new scholars, okay, just for the baccalaureate programs, and the others are coming in at the MS and PhD level. So, in terms of university ranking, of course, this is really a matter which will attribute to our higher education institution sectors. The ranking is 51, which is, of course, still above the mean. Now, our ranking in business sophistication is, ano ba yun? Hindi ranking yun. This is the other business sophistication. Can we ito yung sinaside kong figures kanina regarding the graduates in science and engineering, okay? And as far as okay, the figures are there. Ayan na yung details ng business sophistication, which is the other innovation pillar. Kasi yung first innovation pillar is human resource, the second is business sophistication, and later on we will take a look at the third pillar, which is knowledge and technology outputs. And we can see here that in terms of business sophistication, our rank in university industry collaboration is number 25. Okay, in our 129 countries, high-tech imports, okay, imports ito, okay, which is number 5. Nirarank din pala nila kung ano yung ini-import natin, no? Ibig sabihin, kung ang ini-import natin pagkain lang at basic commodities, hindi siya high-tech, no? But these are high-tech imports which are, I suppose, being used to produce high-tech outputs or exports. Now, the firms that are offering training for their own employees, which contribute also to innovation, is considered to be part of business sophistication, and we rank number 9 there. And as we move on, we take a look at the other innovation pillar, which is knowledge and technology outputs. Here, kanina nakita niyo yung high-tech imports where we rank number 5. Dito naman sa high-tech net exports where we rank number 1. And I think we can attribute this to the biggest contributor of high technology exports, which is the semiconductors and electronics sector in the Philippines. While most of the countries involved there are multinationals, there are also Filipino companies involved in this. Number 8 is ICT services, which I think will cover our BPO sector, which is actually a knowledge output. And the creative goods exports are, we are now in rank number 9. 8. Number 8. Okay. Next, these are the details where we have graduates in science and engineering. It is very notable that we are now producing, although this is still very, very low compared to, let us say, other Southeast Asian countries like Vietnam and, of course, Malaysia. We now have a total of 3,120 MS graduates in 2016 to 18, and a total of, pag pinagsama mo yung dalawang PhD na yun, 433 PhD. Okay? The next slide shows the knowledge generators examples where we have on the leftmost side our smart agriculture program. Smarter approaches to reinvigorate agriculture, which consists of several components, as you can see there, from crop, phenology, to climate and weather monitoring, to the monitoring of weather, AWS, etc., crop models and genetic coefficients, okay? Crop nutrient management, okay? All of these are very heavily dependent on technology sensors, okay? That helps the farmers. Hopefully, this will go down even to the smallest farmer that we have. Then we have examples of other generated knowledge that have been converted into businesses. Asher, which was launched last Monday, some of you were there. Mapua, which is our partner in developing the earthquake monitoring instruments, introduced their product Asher. And their main potential buyers here are, of course, the public sector, which needs to install these instruments to monitor the health of public infrastructure like bridges and tall buildings, and also the private sector, because the private sector need to be prepared also for earthquakes, particularly as we talk of the so-called big one. And I did notice that in the launching last Monday, there were several groups coming from the private sector. You can see Axis there, which is of course on a more personal use. This is the knee replacement system that is adapted to the Asian knee or to the Asian anatomy, and of course a much cheaper alternative to the imported ones. As a rough figure, about half of the usual cost, okay, from the imported knee replacement. Then we have the Labinamag, which has been very much discussed now because of the dengue epidemic in some areas. where we have been using the diagnostic kit. Okay, the lab in a mug is a more generic term that actually can cover several diagnostic kits. Okay, not only dengue, you have the leptospirosis, and now we are perfecting the tuberculosis lab in a mug. Then the bigormin, which is water treatment discovery from the laboratories of Adamson University, funded by PSHERD DOST. Next slide. Additional examples. This has been much talked about already. I will not discuss this anymore. The hybrid electric train. The next slide. This is, I think, these are some of the things that have been contributing to our improvement in industry-academic collaboration, and also in terms of the number of, you remember in human resource as a pillar, we had the number of graduates, and what was the other term that was used? Yung tatlo, a number of graduates. The second one, pakibalikan nga niyo yun. The research talent. Okay? I think here, our program, balik na natin dun sa Science for Change. Okay, that NICER program, which is niche centers in the regions for R&D, has the objective of expanding our R&D pool. Okay, so that we are not dependent only on a few universities. Okay, in terms of implementing R&D programs, now we have more than a dozen just for 2019 that has been added to this list of niche research centers in the region. Later on, you can see where they are located. Okay, in fact, I would like to shorten my discussion so that there will be time for our media personnel, media guests to take a look at our maps where you can see where the NICER centers are located, where the CRADLE partnerships are located, where our business incubators are located, etc., etc. So these are the components of Science for Change, where we want to expand our capability to do research in the regions, not only because they know better the problems in the region, but also because they know more about the opportunities which can be tapped through R&D. Okay? The RD lead, okay, is a way of strengthening also our niche research centers. So they come from the pool of expert scientists, including Balik scientists, that can help our NICER centers develop their research program. CRADLE has been coming up with a synergistic relationship which is resulting in new products, new technologies, and solutions to technology problems. Next, next slide is okay. So I mentioned earlier that there were major pieces of legislation that has helped us, and one of them actually was the Technology Transfer Act. I still remember that very vividly because I was deeply involved, as well as the people here, like Director Sabular said. We were all involved in Technology Transfer Act, which became law in 2009 and which was put into effect in 2010. And the Technology Transfer Act, among other things, encourages our researchers to be more productive in terms of innovations, because the ownership, okay, of the technology or the intellectual property that will be generated will not go to DOST, it will go to the research institution that did the research, okay? And therefore, the economic benefits will go to them also. No more share for the funding institution, unlike before, when the funding institution got 1/2 of the economic benefits. Now, it's 100% going into the implementer of the research and divided between the institution and the researchers. Okay? So now we are already, we have started to distribute royalty payments to our researchers. They may not be big amounts, but for a start, I think it gives them a lot of satisfaction that they are receiving royalty payments for the intellectual property that they have generated. So you can see here in the Balik Scientist program, I will not go into details of the accomplishments, but our target here is to increase the number of Balik scientists by a factor of, was it 50% every year, so that by the end of 2022, from the usual 30 to 35 or up to 40 that we are getting, we can move up to something like close to 160 or 150 Balik scientists in a year. Still a modest figure, but they can actually contribute much. Next is the next slide. Okay, the most recent, of course, among the pieces of legislation from bill to a law is the Philippine Space Act, where we had a separate, I think, presentation on this, particularly when we inaugurated the Ulysses project, which is the University Laboratory for Space, for small satellites and space engineering at the University of the Philippines. So, passed into law, institutions that came first to apply for a CRADLE grant, okay? And this is the use of artificial intelligence on medicinal drug discovery, okay? So, because there are so many ingredients that you will find in a plant that is known to have medicinal value, and you shorten the process of identifying the, shall we say, the example. Hindi na pala example ito. These are statistics on intellectual property filings for the so-called ITSO member institutions. ITSO, these are the intellectual, ano nga yung T? These are the universities, okay? This is actually a collaboration between us and IPO, okay? Where we create ITSO offices in different universities. These are the technology, kalimutan ko na yung ibig sabihin ng ITSO. Kasi yung word na yan hindi naman DOST ang nag-coin, it was coined by IPO. Okay? So these are offices that cater to the IP concerns of the universities. Okay? Next, we have our support to technology transfer. This is done by a number of programs also, depending on the kind of clientele. So we have Fast Track is a funding assistance for spin-off and the translation of research in advancing commercialization. Okay? So funding assistance for spin-off and translation of research in advancing commercialization. So that's the program called Fast Track. The other one is IMPACT, Intellectual Property Management Program for academic institutions commercializing technologies. So, kita nyo na magkakaiba yung clients dito. Doon sa una, siya yung mga nag-i-spin off. Yung isa naman sa universities or institutions. Yung pangatlo is elevating the DOST TBI network services and programs from the level where we used to operate, now targeting industry level 4.0. And we have the HARIT, okay? Pakibasa nga Raul kung ano ibig sabihin ng HARIT.
Higher Education Institutional Readiness for Innovation and Technopreneurship.
Higher Education Institution Readiness for Innovation and Technopreneurship. This is really the incubator program, okay? And then we have the Startup Nation, which actually is a grant given to startups, okay, more for furthering product development through research. Okay? So magkaka-related yan, and although iba-ibang categories. Yung isa, doon mismo sa mga nag-i-spin off. Yung isa naman doon sa institutions. Okay? Yung isa naman ay yung pag-ooperate ng incubators. Okay? And then the other one is really to further the research so that it will become a mature and ready-to-market product. Next are the location of our technology business incubators. Mamaya makikita nyo dun sa map. Now we have 44 of them and it is not confined to the so-called IT type of incubating companies. We have also agricultural startups that are incubated in some universities. I think there are 12 universities that are focusing on agri-based startups. Then the next slide are examples of the so-called DOST-assisted startups that have already, shall we say, graduated into full-blown enterprises. Okay? Rurok Industries. Ito ba yung sa bisikleta? Okay. Retail Gate, okay, which is more of more on the pricing data on retailing, and then you have the Mashibox, Futuristic Aviation and Maritime Enterprises, Nanotronics, Cropital, Senti, Farmwatch, Grayscale, Bigormin. Okay, familiar ako sa Rurok, familiar ako sa Bigormin, familiar ako sa Nanotronics at sa Retail Gate. Yung Nanotronics, sila talaga yung nag-develop ng mga products na nanotechnology particles, mostly coming from natural products, okay? Actually, different sources. At yun, ang ginagamit ngayon as inputs, as raw materials to produce products, okay? So, yung dati, halimbawa, ng mga yung mga usual polymers ang ginagamit, ngayon, nanotechnology particles na ang ginagamit. Okay? Kung hindi ako nagkakamali, yung nag-umpisa niyan was, taga Mapua ba yun? Lasal. Okay, pero lumipat siyang naging teacher sa Mapua and then until he transferred to AIM pa yata. So marami siyang pinuntahan. Until ngayon, meron na siyang company. Next is the location of our NICER centers. So there are now 15 that has been approved. You will notice that the amount that we have devoted to this is a significant amount of more than 500 million pesos. And you can see the kind of expertise that they have. Very, very specific and narrow, but they have a very strong capability to do research in that area. Okay? So, pwede na rin sila mag-offer, or some of them are already offering MS and PhD in these specific areas or related to these specific areas. So, karamihan po sa kanila ay agriculture-related pa rin, itong unang batch. And we understand that because in the regions, most of the universities are originating from agricultural colleges. Some of them are coming from the trade institutes, but most of them are coming from the agricultural colleges na naging universities. So, freshwater fisheries in Isabela, citrus for Nueva Vizcaya, astronomy for Rizal Technological University, potato for Benguet, sweet potato for Tarlac, tamarind for Pampanga, disaster risk related management health for UP Manila, crustacean in Samar State U, mollusk in UP Visayas, environmental informatics in UP Cebu, biodiversity in Cebu Technological University, industrial tree plantations in Caraga, and sea cucumber in MSU Naawan, renewable energy for Ateneo de Manila University in Region 11. Next slide are some of the infrastructure or institutions that have been recently established, okay, which brings us to a higher level in terms of the so-called modern or emerging technologies, okay. Tinatandaan ko yung initials niyan, usually GN GNR. Sino makakahula? Ibig sabihin ng GNR. G is for genomics, N is for nanotechnology, and R is for robotics. Ito yung mga emerging technologies ngayon na nagiging major platforms for R&D. Genomics, nanotechnology, and robotics. What is in common in these fields? Okay, they bring together several basic disciplines. So in genomics, you have biology, you have physics, you have IT brought together. In nanotechnology, ganun din. Meron kang chemistry, meron kang physics, okay? Meron kang material science. In robotics, of course, you have mechanical, electrical, electronics put together. So ito yung common sa mga so-called emerging technologies where we have already made ourselves capable. Okay? For the Genome Center, the first one was set up in UP Diliman. The second one will be set up in Mandurriao. Tama ba yun? In UP Visayas, I think. In sa Visayas. Miagao. Yeah, in Miagao, where you have UP Visayas. And I think in Mindanao, in southeastern, UP Mindanao. In UP Mindanao. Kasi nga pala, itong Genome Center nagsimula as a collaboration between UP and DOST. So yung mga susunod pa is still a collaboration between UP and DOST with the help of CHED. Let us not forget the help that CHED has been given to this. The next one are the Tuklas Luna centers. You can see them again in the maps. And I always tell this story that when we started, yun ang kainaman po ng nandun na sa DOST nung araw. I remember that it was only DOST and UP Manila that were collaborating for drug discovery and development. And you know, it takes a long time. Ngayon, there are 10 universities that are involved doing the different aspects from screening of the plants and marine samples, okay, to the testing for harmful effects and toxicity, to the isolation of the active ingredients that have potentials to cure certain diseases. Up to a certain point, yung mga universities. Beyond, siyempre yung mga clinical trials ay limited na rin doon sa mga may malalaking ospital. Ano? Kasi diyan ka makakakuha ng mga pasyente. So in Tuklas Lunas, while we are talking of more than 1,000 possible species from our rich biodiversity, as of now, 2019, we are ready to proceed with 18 of these for either the manufacture of the active ingredients, kasi yung active ingredients, pwede mo naman siyang i-synthesize or pwede ka nang tumuloy sa clinical trials, okay? Kung gusto mong maging gamot. Now, ano ba yung sasabihin ko? Tuklas Lunas. Kasi yung clinical trials is an expensive activity. So, we do not foresee all to graduate into the clinical trials stage. Maybe the clinical trials can be done by the private sector, okay? And even from the foreign companies. We anticipate that there will be interest from foreign companies. But they have to pay us. Now, we have other than Tuklas Lunas. Sige pa, next slide. Ito naman yung may kinalaman sa advanced device and materials testing, ADMATEL, which most of you have seen already. Ang kagandahan dito, nag-expand na siya ng clientele from the usual semiconductors and electronics. They are now into the other clientele, okay, which includes the pharmaceutical industries, also the space technology, okay, and other industries that are doing testing now at the ADMATEL. Next, Ito naman yung more for the development of new products. This will richly enhance our innovation capacity. Kasi dito, welcome ang mga researchers, welcome ang mga small entrepreneurs, welcome ang estudyante, ang mga teachers na gustong magkutingting at mag-develop ng consumer products in electronics. Yan ang facilities na nandiyan, the printed circuit board prototyping and fabrication facility. So hindi ka na mamumroblema kung saan ka magpapagawa ng printed circuit board, EMC and other test facility. Raul, ano nga EMC? Electromagnetic compatibility, and of course the product prototyping laboratory itself, okay, where you assemble the components and come up with a working consumer product. Next, we have the Food Innovation Centers. Ito medyo luma na sa inyo to kasi sinimulan yan as early as 5 years ago. Noong panahon pa ni Secretary Montejo, inimpisahan ng mga FICs. But really, it has revolutionized new product development in the regions, no? Yung mga processed food. So that in a matter of, halimbawa dito, in 2018 alone, there were 2,000, almost 3,000 new product concepts that were generated, resulting in more than 400 new products that were developed with 70 intellectual properties filed and 1,618 customers served. Mostly, these are our SMEs. Pupunta sila doon, naiisip nila yung produkto, paano ba gagawin ito, tutulungan sila doon. Next, OneLab, ito naman yung mga IT-based networks natin na pinapadali ease of doing business on the part of our clientele. So itong OneLab, kahit saan ka nandun, kahit yung laboratory na nandun sa lugar mo, limited lang ang mga test na isinasagawa, pwede mo isubmit ang sample mo at bahala na yung laboratory na yon sa logistics para makarating dun sa laboratory which can do the analysis. It can be in another location. And you can see now the figures. We start with the 6 national R&D laboratories that we have in Bicutan, in Diliman, and in Los Baños. And then we have the 15 regional standards and testing laboratories. 15 lang po kasi walang sariling laboratory ang DOST-NCR. Kasi ang DOST-NCR ay nandito na mismo sa lugar kung saan nandun yung mga national laboratories. And then we have 30 non-DOST laboratories. Some are private, some are from other departments like the Department of Health and the Department of Agriculture. Next, we have ano ba ito? The demonstration of the DOST innovation landscape. Dito na tayo pupunta dyan sa mga mapa na yan. Meron pa ba susunod na slide? Ha? Wala na. Kaya bago tayo magkaroon ng mga tanungan, gusto naming imbitahan ang ating mga media people. Well, actually kung meron kayong hawak na laptop pa, pwedeng ikaw nga magpaliwanag, Lawrence, kung paano. Kasi ako, ang gusto ko naman ay imbitahan yung pair by pair, no? Dalawa-dalawa, pumunta sa harap para lang ma-demonstrate kung sino. Okay? Magtambal lang isang bata at saka isang hindi bata. Okay? Sino unang pupunta sa harap? Isang pares. Okay? Okay, sige, pumunta na kayo. Pumunta na kayo. Tuturo ni Lawrence kung ano gagawin. At gamitin mo na itong microphone.
So, magandang hapon po sa ating mga kasamaan sa media.
Test.
Hello. So, dito po makita niyo yung tinatawag nating DOST Innovation Landscape. Yung mapa po kung nasaan makita lahat ng mga DOST centers. So, kung meron po kayong dalang laptop or kung meron po kayong connection sa internet, makita po ito sa DOST website. So, dito po sa gilid, sa quick links ng DOST website, makita niyo po, DOST Innovation Landscape. Pwede niyo pong i-click yan, tapos i-redirect niyo po kayo dun sa landing page ng mapa natin ng DOST. So, nandiyan po nakalagay lahat ng mga sentro na tinayo ng DOST para tumulong sa innovation ng bansa. So, for example, gusto kong makita kung nasaan yung mga
Business incubator.
Business incubators natin. So, click ko lang po na, diba?
Kung nasaan ang Balik scientist natin, kung nasaan yung mga nicer centers natin.
Balik na tayo.
Okay. So, para sa mga BSPs po, lalabas po dyan yung mga BSP. Tapos, i-click nyo po. Kunyari ako ay nasa
Balik na tayo.
isang region. So, pwede ko i-click. Kunyari, yan. Sa Holy Angel University sa Pampanga. So, ito si Engineer Leo Almasan. Nandoon siya para tumulong sa Holy Angel mag-develop ng mga research and development projects nila.
So,
So, for example,
nakaklik sa'yo ngayon yung Balik Scientist.
yes sir.
Okay. O, sige.
For example, sa TBI naman,
Yeah, turuan mo yung dalawa nasa unahan na yan. Ayan sila.
click niyo po yung TBI. Tapos kunyari, gusto ko, since yung negosyo or yung startup ko, malapit kunyari sa Manila, so pupunta ako sa Manila or sa location of interest ko. Tapos i-click ko yung TBI sa Manila. And then papakita niya sa University of San Tomas, ito yung tawag sa TBI. So, Tomasino Center TBI. Papakita niya kung ano yung mga banner programs nila. So for example dito, Rehabilitation Engineering. So kung yung startup ko malapit sa ganung klase ng negosyo, dito ako mag-house. For example naman, kung medyo iba pa yung center ng business ko, punta ako sa AIM, Dadaban na tao incubator. So ayun naman, makita yung ibang TBI sa pwede akong mag-locate.
Kaya mo comment doon si Kati.
Okay. Ma'am.
Ito, OneLab.
So OneLabs as ito po.
So, taga-QC ako.
Opo.
Tapos,
So sa po ay pinakamalapit na OneLab Center. So yung OneLab po is a network ng mga laboratories ng DOST. So for example, meron akong kailangan testing, kahit na wala siya dito sa Manila, ipapadala siya dun sa ibang testing sites through OneLab. So for example, meron lang siya somewhere sa Visayas yung testing na yun. So yung OneLab na yung mag-aasikaso for that testing. Right? So dito, for example, sa Region 4A sa Calabarzon, pwede yung dalhin dyan yung samples nyo. So kahit hindi available sa Calabarzon, yung testing or analysis, ipapadala dun sa network kung saan pwedeng gawin yung analysis through OneLab. So ease of doing business, kumbaga. Hindi na kailangan mag-transport. Yung OneLab na yung bahala para dun.
Another pair naman, another pair.
Next pair daw po ng media na gustong sumubok ng map natin.
Mga pares para lang ma-experience.
Volunteers.
Kauling. Ha? Oh. Ha?
So, Ate Mavic, pakita natin yung mga FIC centers. So, FIC.
Do not be afraid.
Natakot po yata siya sa...
Tanay pa na.
Opo.
Oh.
Sirs, ma'ams. Yeah.
halika sir, Rite. Gusto ko mag-escort.
Sir, so ito po yung mapa. So, for example, ano po yung gusto natin makita? Kayong mga nicer programs.
So yan, nice naman ang hanapin niyo.
Pwede niyo pong pindutin yung nicer dito. Opo. Quezon City, so...
Kaya nasa kanan yung lumabas.
Opo, yung nicer. So, kunyari ito. Sige po, touch na po. Ayan, Quezon City, may daw tayong nicer. Ito po, pipindot niyo po yung logo ng nicer. So, ito yung isa malapit sa Quezon City, yung sa Mandaluyong. Yung Center for Astronomy, R&D. Yan. Okay, tapos yung isa pong nicer na malapit sa region. Yan, yung Center for Disaster Risk Reduction naman sa UP Manila. So, makita niyo po yung ginagawa niya doon, tapos yung mga proyekto niya. So,
Ano nga, yung sa Isabela, tingnan
sa Isabela po na nicer.
Yung North yun, Region 2.
Yan, sir. Freshwater fishery sa Isabela. Po.
Sintro sa lumabas. Ayun, fresh water.
Yung halal lab, meron.
Yung halal sa laboratory yun.
Opo. Dito po sa...
Walang separate. Walang separate.
Wala po pong separate sa halal, opo.
Kasi ang tatlo pa lang yun eh.
Next, sino?
Another pair.
Ross. Ross. Tagay na lang. Oo, kukuha.
Yan. Okay.
Abang na. Very sa bahay.
Ito po. So, ano pong gusto natin makita? So, yung Balik Scientist.
FIC, School of Innovation.
So, ipapakita po yung mga BSPs. So, kung saan region kayo interested. Opo, makita niyo po lahat ng BSPs natin from 2018 pa lang po yan to 2019. Pwede po kayo mag-zoom in po. Kung saan yung... Dito po sa bawah wala po tayong BSP. Sige po. Siya po yung BSP doon.
Pero hindi nakikita yung ginagawa niya doon.
Dito po sa description, kung anong ginagawa yung training, Ate Mami, sa San BSP sa Opo, sa Pagkakita. Ay, may kumakontrol dito. Sa Iloilo. Ito po sa Iloilo. University of San Agustin, Iloilo. Opo. Dito po, naka-describe po kung ano yung ginagawa. Yung actual po, sa development stage po natin siya yung Opo. Thank you po.
All right, so thank you very much, Lawrence, and to those who
Salamat po.
participated in this demo. The map will still be here even after our question and answer portion, so feel free later to interact with this map. It's a great tool to inform everybody where our centers are operational, right? Of course, it's also a great tool to inform our lawmakers if these centers are located within their districts, no? And if they're not yet located in their districts, for them to also advocate for more facilities and science and technology within their congressional district. Now, we move on to listen to some testimonials. First off, I'd like to call on a Balik scientist introduced earlier, Dr. Thomas Neil Pascual. His expertise is in the area of nuclear medicine. He obtained his Doctor of Medicine and Master's degree in Health Professions Education from the University of Santo Tomas. He was a fellow of the Department of Nuclear Medicine, the Children's Hospital at Westmead, Australia, specializing in pediatric nuclear medicine. Since 2012, he worked as nuclear medicine physician at the International Atomic Energy Agency in Vienna, Austria. For his Balik Scientist program stint this time around, Dr. Pascual is collaborating with the Philippine Nuclear Research Institute, or PNRI, to improve nuclear medicine instrumentation and diagnostic services in the country. Also, to share expert advice on the use of nuclear medicine services for the management of non-communicable diseases, or NCDs, and provide technical assistance to the conduct of PNRI's research activities on radiopharmaceutical technology. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it from Dr. Thomas Neil Pascual.
So, magandang hapon po sa inyo lahat. So, thank you for the kind introduction. So, I would just share to you my experience on my engagement with the Balik Scientist program of the DOST. So far, since my engagement since March, it's been a very good engagement as far as the strive towards improving the innovation landscape and the support of the DOST. My project is mainly trying to improve the access of nuclear medicine facility in the Philippines within the context of improving po yung diagnosis and staging sa cancer. So within our program so far, we have received good support from the funding from the DOST and from the government to be able to introduce this type of technology wherein we're able to improve the management of patients with cancer and with relation to improving the staging and the response to chemotherapy. If I would say down the line and medium term, this would actually improve the access of this technology for our countrymen with regards to cancer management. My testimonial actually is to say the full support of the government with regards to providing this technology. So aside from providing us support in the acquisition of this innovative technology, which I would call a cyclotron and PET-CT facility, the government is also very supportive in providing human resources development through providing provision of training for the people who will be involved in this facility, which we foresee will be available in the next 5 years. Also, the government, the DOST, has been very supportive in supporting innovative research in the field of nuclear medicine and radiopharmacy. What Secretary Dela Pena said when we were discussing about this engagement last year, I was surprised on how fast things are going, and that's why I am not surprised on why we're actually moving on the Global Initiative Innovation Index. So I would really foresee that the next 5 years, as we plan to make the Philippines the center of training for nuclear medicine technologies in the ASEAN region, I would see that the Global Innovation Index will be even higher, especially in the field of nuclear medicine and human health. So within our project, I would see that in the 3 or next 5 years, when the procurement and the training of people are all in place with full support from DOST and the government, then definitely we would reach a higher ranking in the Global Innovation Index, which actually would reflect the trust of science for the people. So with that, I think we are on the right track. We are in good hands. Innovation in health through support from the government and the DOST are in the way, and down the line we would have access to this type of health technology for use of our countrymen. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Pascual. He will be staying around, so if you have more questions, you can approach him after this press conference. Now, we'd like to present some technology intervention services from DOST. And we have with us here a couple, Jojo and Zunito Tamase. They are founders of Nature Earth Corporation. They used to be media practitioners themselves in their earlier days. Jojo used to be with Malacanang as a photographer, and Zunito was a reporter for Philippine Star. All right? Zunito here is the very first person to invent the malunggay pandesal years ago. Today, they have a corporation serving M2 malunggay iced tea being sold in supermarkets here and abroad. Let's welcome Zunito and Jojo Tamase.
That's good.
What happened was that he liked it so much at that he started to export to the US. So we expanded not only in US but also here in the Philippines. So right now we are looking. Hi, I'm Zunito Tamase, and our company is Nature Earth, and we started 2011 with 3 employees, and we started with M2 Malunggay Iced Tea. Dati, niluluto lang namin siya sa kawali. Today, with the assistance of setup, we were able to acquire a bottling system wherein we are able to run more quantity production on a day basis. we are able to produce at least mga 3,000 bottles per day. And during the time pa naman, we did not have enough funds for that. Aside from the machinery support, we are able to scale up our production. Andyan din po yung mga trainings na na-avail na kung saan yung mga employees na ay talagang nai-equip sila with information para mas maayos na yung performance nila sa production. And through that, ang nangyayari is that we're able to scale up and we're able to develop new products. One of the things that we've actually done, because from M2 Manilala Iced Tea, we're also able to develop new products like coconut flour, salted egg chips, and then we have ota, which is also malunggay. So that's how we develop. Because we are able to have more income, we are now able to have an R&D budget so that we will be able to have more products. So we're able to meet somebody who is into exporting. So what happened was that he liked it so much that he started to export to the US. So we expanded not only in US but also here in the Philippines. So right now we are locally distributed by DOST, Robinsons, Landers, and SNR, and also with our sellers and distributors nationwide. And kasi yung mga product namin, ingredient-wise, puro mga gulay. So we are so much involved with the farmers, like the ingredients for malunggay iced tea, so malunggay, okra, and luya. Ang mga farmers talaga ang aming katulong para magawa ang M2. DOST was able to help up is that we were able to scale up, not just in terms of technology, but guide more and have more employees support their families. So you can just imagine that with the assistance that we got from DOST, we have now 43 employees, not just employee, but they have now their own businesses. They have their own sari-sari store, they have now a motorbike, so they're farmers, they're able to buy their own facilities and equipment in their own farm, and with that, we have already cascaded the economy. The economy of scale now coming from us, it's now rippling down to them. To the people behind the DOST program, we are very honored and thankful that you have given us this opportunity to be who we are and where we are going. Because where we are going, we are very sure that you are always there ahead of us. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Zuni.
Hi, I'm Zunita Tamase, and our company is Nature Earth, and we started 2011 with
We started Nature Earth with 200 pesos, and we had employees, including me and my husband. And today we have 40 employees distributing in 1,000 outlets here and abroad. DOST helped us in opening opportunities to expand our market. DOST set up, assisted us with financials, enabling us to purchase a 1.5 million machinery. And we are able to have our manual to automation. We also got our technical support at GNP and Lean Management. Our product started with one, which is M2, but now we have 40 products developed, including QUEZON.
We are grateful to for the assistance of DOST set up, and we look forward to continue to grow with their support, contributing to our workforce, empowering our farmers, and giving back to the community through donating to M2 to breastfeeding mothers in PGH and other hospitals. We are M2 Nature Earth, M2 Malunggay Iced Tea. Surprisingly delicious, refreshingly nutritious, your vegetable fix for the day. Thank you.
Thank you, Jojo. Thank you, Sonito. We also have a number of technology business incubators. These are facilities that provide services to enterprises under their care. These services may come in the form of trainings, counseling, or providing a space for the operations and production of the enterprise, which by the way is commonly called as incubatee in DOST. So at Picard, under their technology business incubation, the National Agri-Aqua Technology Business Incubation Program, they have 14 TBIs in the country today with a total of 91 incubatees supported. So the incubatees enterprise now have a total gross income of 11.1 million pesos. Are we able to show something? All right, so let's watch this video clip about one of their successful incubatees.
Nandun po yung aking breeding farm. But I'm also heavily involved sa national programs on goat and sheep sa small ruminants as the former president of the National Federation. Yung farm ko is in Tarlac City. I'm secured with permits locally to engage in commercial goat breeding and meat goat production. Malaking tulong yung nabigay sa akin na assistance ng DOST card and Isabela State University because I have now a farm-based semen processing laboratory. Isa po itong laboratorio na kung saan nakakakolekta kami ng similya na ipoproseso namin ito at nagagamit po ito ng mga iba-ibang breeders, maging ang mga maliliit ng mga magsasaka. Ang kagandahan nito, with that TBI for Technology Business Incubation na kung saan dito ko nakuha sa Isabela State University with the support of DOST card, mas mako-commercialize ko yung negosyo. So, may tamang pamamaraan kung anong dapat gawin para ma-revolutionize yung commercialization nitong processed semen na dala nitong farm-based semen processing laboratory na meron ako sa Tarlac City. So the farm-based processing laboratory is located in Barangay Tarihi, Tarlac City. My breeding farm is also located in the same address. And sana mabisita ninyo para makita ninyo kung ano yung sinasabi ko. And I'm very glad to assist each and everyone na pwedeng matulungan itong negosyo. Maraming salamat po sa atin.
All right, so thank you also to Picard.
Ano pangalan na nagsalita? Noel Soliman. Actually, I was looking for him. Wala pala siya. He wasn't able to make it. But when I was in Isabela State U, pinroject yung 15 graduate ng business incubator ng Isabela and he is one of them. And na-impress ako kasi yung kanyang itinayong business is more of services. Kasi yung mga nagpapa-artificial insemination, particularly sa goats, they have to go to yung mga government centers na hindi accessible sa iba. Kaya ang ginawa niya, naisipan niya magtayo ng sarili niyang artificial insemination center, privately run, okay? Tinuruan siya ng Isabela State University, but actually po, siya ay Doctor of Veterinary Medicine, na graduate ng CLSU. So nag-venture siya into his own AI center.
We will now have the Q&A portion, so anyone from the media, we will assign one microphone here. Makipila na lang po, please. Oh, over there, there's one. Makipila na lang po so that in the order that you are in the line, you will raise the questions. Please identify yourselves and your media affiliation and direct your question to anybody on the head table.
Good afternoon. Walang sound. Good afternoon. I'm Mona Gamolo from SideOf.net. I have a question for Secretary Dela Pena. Sir, thank you very much for your presentation, for giving us the entire, I assume, maybe not in its entirety, but a very good glimpse of the entire universe of interventions of the DOST. Unfortunately, I also noticed that you didn't discuss much the not so much actually, the funding support for many of these programs. So I'm just wondering, sir, funding being something that indicates also the priorities, program project priorities of the DOST. I'm just wondering, sir, kung ano po yung ranking in terms of science or industry areas, yung pinakamalaking ranking na naibigay ng DOST sa mga iba't ibang industries or science research areas po. Thank you po.
Ay, siguro ito maaaring hindi 100% exact, pero ang isa sa pinakamalaking nabigyan ng funding ng DOST in terms of R&D money ay ang may kinalaman sa space technology. Space because considered na part ng space technology development yung nung nagsimula tayong gumamit ng Dream LiDAR na kung saan 16 na universities ang nagsagawa ng hazard mapping using LiDAR technology. Bahagi na yon ng R&D for space technology and kasama na rin yung disaster risk reduction. Ano? So yun ang pinakamalaki. I think we have already spent 7 billion so far since 2013 ba yun? Around 2014. I think the second one, where we have spent a big amount, is the Tuklas Lunas program, where we have 10 universities now doing Tuklas Lunas activities, and maybe the third one will be in the area of saan? Sa agriculture. Pero sa agriculture kasi, pag sinabi mong crop variety improvement, it involves a number of different crops. Pero crop variety is really a major area because we try to improve variety so that they will be high yielding, so that they will be resistant to pests, so that they will be resilient to extreme conditions. Okay, so crop variety improvement has been a major area.
And the third, sir, you mentioned the Philippine Space Agency, then Tuklas Lunas, and Agri. In terms of Agri intervention, saan pong...
crop variety.
Crop variety, crop research.
Crop variety. And of course, livestock.
And livestock.
Okay, dagdagan ko lang yung nabanggit ni Secretary, na in terms of the agriculture, aquatic, and natural resources, one of the biggest our investment in one program at the time was on the Saray, yung nabanggit kanina, smart agriculture, smart approaches to invigorate the agriculture industry. I think it was quite a very big investment in the line of in the amount of something like 200 million. And then one of also our project, and then meron na yung phase 2, and then another big banner program is on our investment on the coconut embryogenesis. So yun yung mga isang kumbaga one coconut can produce about 200 plantlets later. So these are, but there are also other big programs in the agriculture, aquatic, and natural resources na masasabi natin talagang mga malalaking native animals program, our marine resources program, and so on.
Thank you. Next question, please.
Good afternoon. Ako muna. Melody Aguila po, growthfeatures.com. I think we've been using before a certain parameter in measuring progress for R&D funding. Na-mention na rin ni Ma'am, contribution to GDP, yung sa funding po, di ba? Are we increasing in that area? Number one. Number two,
minimal.
Number two, I think there are some figures being used in Silicon Valley where they quote revenue in terms of, in dollar terms, the contribution of certain sectors to GDP. What I'm saying is, in dollar terms, I think you have jobs generated. I wonder if there's a certain, if you're starting to monitor in revenue terms, in peso terms, its contribution to economy or to GDP. Thank you.
Doon sa drugs, wala pa. Kasi, ano pa lang nandun pa lang tayo sa extraction at saka active ingredients extraction stage. So, ang karamihan ng ating royalties ngayon ay yung may kinalaman sa na-develop sa agriculture. For example, yung carrageenan, irrigated carrageenan na ginagamit na plant growth promoter, yan nagdadala na yan ng income na hindi ko alam kung magkano, pero maliit pa lang. Yung sa drugs kasi, yung malalaking royalties natin sa grant, yung pa yung na-research nung pang 1980s, yung Lagundi at Sambong. Malaki ang royalties niyan, pero yan pa yung unang pasada ng research. Hindi ko ma-credit sa atin ngayon yun dahil noon pa yun. Ano? At ang ginawa namin dyan, mula nung na-adapt ang Technology Transfer Act, pinakiusap ng UP Manila na yung royalties kahit na yung mga agreements nila ay before the Technology Transfer Act pa, pinakiusap nila na i-give up na ng DOST ang share ng DOST in favor of UP Manila. Kasi nga, kung tutuusin, yung full benefits going to the implementing institution after 2010 pa. Pero yung kanilang mga agreements before 2010. But they requested us kung pwedeng i-retroactive na namin yung pag-give up nung sa share ng royalties in favor of the R&D Institute. So yun, lahat ng royalties doon pumupunta na sa UP Manila. Ngayon, yung ibang mga nagdadala ng mga income from licensing are mostly yung mga equipment na ginawa natin para sa mga food processing, para sa mga ano tawag dito, sa waste processing, sa yung mga ganoon mostly. So yun, hindi pa rin kalalakihan ng royalties, but we can foresee that as we increase the number of products that are commercialized and as we go into bigger ticket items, mas lalaki pa yan. Pero sa totoo lang sa ngayon, hindi yun ang objective ko na mag-earn from royalties kung hindi ma-transfer yung technology.
Secretary, if I may add on, if you remember when the Technology Transfer Act was passed in 2009 or 2008, talagang in-enhance ng DOST and of course our sector in the agriculture, yung protection of intellectual property and then yung technology transfer initiatives. For us alone, at the moment, related to intellectual property at saka yung mga technology transfer initiatives, which includes also TBI and so on and so forth, is something like for the last 3 years has already amounted to 300 plus million, covering about 74 projects. So ganun ganun din yung sa ibang council ng DOST. Kaya we really wanted to sensitize the value of intellectual property and then at the same time the value of really commercializing na dapat ang mga Pinoy kumita doon sa mga investment ng pamahalaan.
Tsaka ang ginagawa namin ngayon, kina-classify yung technology. Kung ito ba ay for commercialization or for public good. Kung yung public good, hindi tayo maniningil ng royalties.
I appreciate your reply when it comes to you're saying that's not your focus po. I really appreciate it. I'm coming from the perspective of the maybe private investors, foreign investors, local investors, high net worth individuals, yung mga nag-IPO, kasi diba when they look at things, they look at figures, they look at more revenues, profitability. I'm coming from the point of view that private sector, yung investors, push causes from sustainability of technology, of business, because of the profit. So, and I've seen figures coming from innovation areas, as I mentioned, Silicon Valley, which is more IT focused, na meron silang talagang, they're starting to develop how to come up with those figures. At least how you're starting to do it.
All right.
If I may add some information. Earlier, meron tayong slide na pakita ni Secretary. It's about the technology business incubators, facilities, and services. Kung ma-project ko dyan. This program has nurtured more than 200 startups. Meaning, later on, pag naging successful yan, magiging big companies yan. And has produced created 800 jobs. Yan. Nandiyan pala sa and generated more than 100 million in private and government investments. Napakalaki po ng potential nito pag naging big companies po ito. And generated over 60 million in terms of startup revenues. Simula pa lang po yan. And I think we will have more in the future.
Thank you, Engineer Raul.
Hindi mo kasi makukuha sa biglaan yan. Ano? Ang gusto kong gawing example yung kauna-unahang incubating. Nung nagtayo kami ng business incubator sa UP Diliman, okay, this was way back in 1994, 93. And yung isa sa mga unang tenants namin ay engaged in automation. Ano? It's more of services pero may kasamang marketing na rin, no, mga ini-install. And he started in those early 90s with 10 employees. Today, the company has grown into an engineering company which has more than 220 employees already. They own their building and it is now a leader in the area of mechatronics and robotics. So, it takes some time, ano? Lalo na yung mga ganong klase ng businesses. Kuminsan kasi ako, meron ako mga doubts dyan sa mga businesses, halimbawa na startup, yung mga gumagamit ng tipong Silicon Valley type of ng mga information technology, doing services. Yan biglang sikat, pero hindi mo alam kung hanggang kailan. No? Pero yung mga talagang hard engineering and other technologies na ika nga ang services niyan hindi naman nawawala. Ano? Yun ang mas sa tingin ko mas long-lasting na kailangan nating pagplanuhan.
Thank you, sir. Now we'll have the next question, please.
Okay, my name is Kathy Cruz from DZXL ang ating katipunan and tuklasin.com. My question goes to Secretary. Pwede rin pong sumagot kung sino po yung pwedeng Kasi nakakanda ko sir kasi dun sa intellectual property press conference in Makati. Yung ITSO kanina na present mo. So it's the intellectual technology. Yes, naging speaker po kayo doon. Nadatnan ko po kayo. It's an intellectual technology support office po na created po ng IPO po. Kaya lang medyo ang dami po kasing during that press conference, nagtanong din po ako kasi medyo marami po kasing gray areas na aminado naman po yung yung speaker doon sa taga-IPO po na nasa proseso pa lang po kasi na binubuo ito. Now, sa ganang inyo, sir, kasi wala po kayo nung time na yon Open forum. Opo, nung open forum wala po kayo because after po ng speech nyo, mukhang may another engagement kayo. But ang mga nandoon kasi are mga state university presidents. Opo. Nakakalungkot lang sa isang sitwasyon na para bang ang dami po kasing tinatawag nating programa ng DOST in particular like the Balik scientists at iba pang mga pagdating sa mga academe po natin. Pero nagtataka ko, bakit yung pong mga state universities presidents na nandun po, parang hindi sila lahat aware about the services na binibigay po ng DOST 21 agencies, in particular of the Research and Development Council. So, yung isang taga-CLSU nandun, sir, kaya lang hindi siya nabigyan, hindi lang po siya nabigyan ng pagkakataon, pero malapit po kasi siya sa akin, kaya sabi niya, ang daming programa ng DOST. But then,
marami na siyang alam at marami
po
partnership
siyang,
with CLSU.
Opo. Kaya po parang mukhang kailangan ng mag-research din ng ating mga other state universities nationwide. But then again, sa inyo pong kaisipan at sa inyo pong bilang secretary po ng DOST, ano po ba ang magiging role nitong Intellectual Technology Support Office sa hanay naman po ng ating mga sa research and development, sa DOST in particular?
Well, yung tungkol sa parang yung iba hindi nakakaalam ng mga programa, okay? Ito ay ihahalin tulad ko sa entrepreneurs, okay? Kung ikaw ay entrepreneur, ang isa sa mga competency na importante sa iyo ay information seeking ka. Itong mga presidente ng universities na hindi nakakaalam, ibig sabihin hindi sila information seeking, hindi sila entrepreneurial. Ano? Kung minsan yan ang problema natin sa mga public institutions like the public universities. Pero i-compare mo halimbawa, nakita mo kanina yung CRADLE ng TIP, yung CRADLE ng San Agustin, yung partnership with Mapua. Ito yung mga privately run universities na kailangan talaga maging entrepreneurial sila. Ano? Kasi ang pera manggagaling sa income. Ang ating mga ibang universities na public, yun dumadating na lang ang budget. Anyway, hindi ko sila kine-criticize, pero ang sinasabi ko lang, kung gusto mong umasenso, dapat information seeking ka. Tungkol naman dun sa ITSO, ito ay initiative ito ng Intellectual Property Office. Ano? Nakakalungkot nga lang dahil nung conference na yun, yung mismong head ng Intellectual Property Office absent, ano? At may sakit daw siya. Anyway, ang alam kong major role niyan yung sa pagpo-provide ng information para masiguro na yung kanilang mga gustong i-apply ng intellectual property protection ay walang nagawa pa. No? Yung, ano tawag doon, sa prior art search. Kasi they are entitled to the information na binabayaran ng IPO, okay? Kung ano na yung mga nandyan na may mga IP protection na para nang sa ganon, makita mo kung kasi usually pag mag-a-apply ka, dapat wala pang ganun dati. Di ba? Original dapat or innovative. So yung pagse-search ng prior art, yun ang malaking tulong kung ikaw ay member ng ITSO. Kasi isi-share sa iyo ng IPO yung information na yon. You don't have to rely on IPO to do the prior art search. Kaya tinetrain din nila yung mga nag-ooperate na ITSO.
Okay, second question ko po goes to Sir sa nuclear medicine po. Gusto ko lang pong malaman because I am an advocate of nuclear program dito sa ating bansa na late na tayo. First question ko po, I'm sure you are a member of the Philippine Society of Nuclear Medicine, sir. So curious lang ako, ano po ba ngayon ang pipeline of programs ng nasabing organisasyon? At ganoon din, tanong ko dun sa ating taga-PNRI. I understand taga-PNRI daw po kayo ngayon. And pipeline at saka where we are in terms of nuclear medicine.
Thanks for the question. As far as the plans of the Philippine Society of Nuclear Medicine and also in line with the PNRI and DOST, our focus right now is on high-grade imaging, which would include mainly focus on improved management of cancer. So all the way from staging of the cancer and then response to therapy, and then eventually up to monitoring. So what we are trying to provide now with the Balik Scientist program is to have access to this kind of technology this technology more accessible to people in terms of availability and cost. So down the line within the project of the DOST, we would have this kind of facility available more to the people, yes. Because right now we do have that facility, but it's not, yes, it's expensive and not too much accessible, to most of the people. So as far as the plan with the Philippine Society of Nuclear Medicine and also with the DOST and the PNRI, we would want to have this kind of technology within reach, mas madaling makuha ng mga tao. Kasi po, napakamahal po as of now this kind of diagnostic modality.
Follow-up question ko lang, sir. Makakatulong ba if the Bataan Nuclear Power Plant ay mare-revive? Kasi this...
Teka muna, lumilipat ka na from medicine to energy. Tapos na ba yung medicine?
Pero po kasi may connection po yun. Kasi mahal po kasi yung because yung nuclear program po ng ating government. Kasi galing pa po ng ibang bansa, tama po ba ako?
Oo.
At meron lang pong process na ginagawa para po makuha yung tinatawag nating magagamit for the nuclear medicine.
Clear ko na po, yung gusto namin galin dito is a medical cyclotron na stand-alone. Na medyo
Stand-alone.
independent siya sa power plant.
Wala kinalaman
So,
sa
walang
power
kinalaman
plant.
yun.
Wala.
Okay, sige.
So safe yung technology na.
Pagbigyan mo yung ibang magtatanong.
Last na, this is not a question, but it's a congratulation. Kasi I interviewed one of a Filipino fellow countrymen po natin. Galing po kasi siya sa Mindanao. At ngayon, nasa Metro Manila po siya. At siya ay isa sa mga batang nakaranas ng mga panahon na yon ng gera. At during my interview, naluluha pa nga siya, lalaki siya, sir. Pero nung nakwento ko sa kanya about the DOST program, at nirefer ko siya sa taga-DOST NCR, napakaswerte dahil siya po ay agad-agad pinuntahan ng DOST NCR natin. At sa kasalukuyan kanina bago pong nagpunta dito, kausap ko mismo po yung tao. Printing po ang kanyang mga souvenir items po yung kanyang ginagawa. But before that, siya po ay isang naging empleyado po ng isang export company dito sa Pilipinas pero nagsarado po. Somehow, meron pong mga reason, but basically gusto niya po na ma-attain din uli, yung maibalik yung export na ginagawa po niya kasi nandun yung expertise niya. He's a painter, magaling po siyang pintor.
Bottom line, Kathy.
Ang bottom line po is congratulations sa mabilis at tunay nga na ang DOST ay kaagapay sa pag-unlad ng bansa.
Alright.
Anyway, dudugtuhan ko lang yung kay Dr. Pascual. Baka isipin ninyong DOST lang yung program na yon. Ang magka-partner po dito ay DOH at DOST dito sa programa ng nuclear medicine. At ang isa sa mga parang inspirasyon namin dito ay yung habilin ni Dr. Amano na kalungkutan ay sa makabilang buhay na cancer din ba kinamatay niya. Noong November kasi, nakipag-meeting ako sa kanya nung nandun ako sa Vienna. Ito yung binabanggit niya. Sabi niya, palakasin ninyo ang programa niyo sa nuclear medicine dahil hanggang ngayon, daang libo pa ang namamatay na Pilipino na hindi man lang nila nalaman na cancer pala ang kanilang sakit. Kaya yun ang parang isa sa mga naging habilin, kumbaga, dahil hindi nalaunan siya ay sa makabilang buhay na rin. Dr. Pascual.
I-add ko rin po na isa pong goal din ng yung program namin is yung facility ay maging lugar para pag-train, pagsali ng mga tao sa field ng nuclear medicine, hindi lang sa Pilipinas, kundi sa Asia, sa region. So we would really want this facility to be accessible for training locally and within the region. So yun ang medium to long-term plan namin and we can do it with the support of the government.
Thank you. Meron pa?
One comment?
Nakatayo na po yung sa Horizon.
Happy morning po sa inyo lahat. Sec, regarding po dun sa ating mga scientists, ano po yung Balik Scientist Program?
Come closer to the
Yes,
microphone, please.
Very close na dyan.
Yung Balik Scientist Program natin, ano pong pinakapangunahin natin na programa para sa ating mga scientists?
Basta po ay nakaugnay dun sa National Harmonized Research and Development Agenda. Actually, ay as much as possible, gusto namin yung may mga malalaking programang ginagawa yung mga universidad na naka-align doon sa ating harmonized R&D agenda. Pero ika nga, kung ako tatanungin, dalhin muna natin sila dito at tingnan natin kung ano pwede nating ipagawa. Ano? Ang iba kasi dyan, gusto lang masubukan. Ano? Magpupunta muna ng short term na 15 days. Ano? Pagka nakita nilang maganda pala ang nangyayari at nakaka-contribute sila, mag-a-apply uli ng medium term. Ano? Up to 6 months na yon. Merong nag-a-apply na ng 1 year or 2 years. At katulad nila Dr. Saludes sa San Agustin, after their Balik scientist engagement dito, nagsettle na sila uli sa Pilipinas. Ano? Yun ang mga kagandahan, yung mga nagsimula lang through the program. Okay? Nung nagsettle na sila permanently, ay hindi na namin sila binabayaran as Balik scientist. Kung saan na sila naka-employo, yun na nagpapasweldo sa kanila. Pero nagagamit namin sila dahil sa mga importanteng programa. Katulad nung sila doon sa San Agustin, yung Tuklas Lunas natin, na-expand natin, na hindi lang puro halaman ang pinanggagalingan. So, pati yung mga nasa ilalim ng dagat na mga kalupaan na pinapanggalingan ng mga ibang organisms. Okay?
Isa na lang po, may allowance po ba sila? Magkano?
Oo, ikaw, Raul. Ang alam ko yung DSA amount na DSA, yung Daily Subsistence Allowance ng UN.
Salamat po.
Alright.
May di pa, unahin mo na si Ma'am.
Sir, yung ano lang po kanina nasabi ni Madam, sabi kasi niya yung nanggagaling sa BNPP. So gusto ko lang pong ipaalam na sa PNRI nga, meron din diagnostic na pharmaceutical apart from the cyclotron which is now available. Yun po yung sinasabi niya na imported. This is Technetium 99M na available natin po na technology sa PNRI now.
Ginagawa na ngayon dito?
Opo, sir. So hindi na po natin ini-import yung Technetium 99 kasi po yung Technetium 99 yun po yung bulk ng diagnostica ngayon. Diagnostica.
Actually, gusto ko rin itanong kay Dr. Pascual yun na tayo ba in the future makakagawa nung ano ba yung mga ginagamit pag-scan ng mga may cancer? Ano ba yun?
Secretary, right now po yung ang sikat ngayon FDG F18 for cancer detection, staging, and then restaging. This is available now locally, but at high cost nga.
Locally pero imported?
No, it's manufactured locally po because you have the equipment to make it.
Okay.
But ngayon po kasi, yung sa focus natin with the research and with the PNRI, the equipment itself can also produce other tracers na can be used for cancer management, also for heart disease din. But right now, right now kasi ang focus is only on isang type ng tracer, yung F18 FDG, kasi yun ang pinaka-in-demand po sa mga ospital. Yung other potential ng equipment hindi na-explore kasi either mas mahal and then walang research capability. So what we're trying to do now with our program is to tap that side of the equipment so it could provide more services and research opportunity for our countrymen. Down the line nito, it would affect yung health outcomes. Eventually, yes. So we're actually empowering yung mga local researchers natin to tap on that side of the facility. At the same time, making it yung normal production available to most Filipinos. So yun po yung binabalance natin.
Okay, so in the future siguro magkakaroon tayo ng technology media conference sa non-energy uses of nuclear technology.
All right, so next question please.
Magandang hapon po. Dalawa lang po ang question ko. Yung isa, ay gusto ko malaman kay Dr. Pascual kung gaano po kayo katagal dito. Kasi po yung technology na tungkol po sa cancer, parang napakahirap po niyan, mahirap ipaintindi at mahirap intindihin. Yung hybrid imaging na sinasabi ninyo, gaano po ba ito katagal? Kasi ang kayo po mga scientists, meron po kayong short, medium, and long na pag-stay sa Pilipinas. So saan po kayo doon? At saka, paano po natin, ito mo ba ay maaaring dadalhin ba ninyo sa mga hospitals? Itong result po na inyong research? Or, kasi minsan po yung mga research hindi napupunta
sa first question po, nasa medium engagement po ako, so up to 1 year po. Of course, siyempre subject to pag-isipan, siyempre based on the outputs of the project. Kasi ang project is more project-wise medium to long term, which means from at least 3 to 5 years bago namin ma-realize yung project namin na dumating yung equipment. Pero pag nandyan na po, definitely, yung technology na to is maituturo sa, of course, locally din. Sa mga, kasi marami po mga scientists na involved din sa proseso. Hindi lang doktor na manggagamot. Meron pong mga radiochemists, mga medical physicists, mga technologists. Lahat po yan kailangan i-train ng DOST and NRI para ma-achieve po yung mga outcomes natin. So yung ginagawa natin, lahat yan naka-step by step na maabot. May mga timeline po kami para makuha po yun. Hopefully po, ma-achieve natin yun. Of course, may suporta naman po tayo ng gobyerno. And then saka na lang pag-usapan mo gano'ng tatagal yung support.
Magkano po ang involved na na fund para dito?
Officially from the PNRI.
Kami hindi namin alam, Meli pa.
1 billion? Okay, less than 1 billion. Sige, thank you po. Second question ko. Sir, kalu-launch lang po nung Philippine Space Agency. Ano na po nangyari sa IRR? Pwede ba namin malaman? Thank you.
Hindi pa po nag-uumpisang gawin kasi doon sa batas, sabi doon, kailangang mag-convene ng meeting ang Philippine Space Agency para gawin ang IRR. Pero wala pa namang Philippine Space Agency, so sino magtatawag ng meeting? So sumulat po ako sa Office of the President kasi ang chair ng Space Council ay ang presidente na requesting na magbigay lang ng instructions kung paano ang gagawin.
Alright, we have time for 2 more questions.
Hello, good afternoon po sa lahat. Referee ko po ng NBM Online TV at Non-Break Balita. My question is addressed to Dr. Edwin Sibillar. Sir, nasa bare month na po tayo ngayon, halos 3 months na lang. Alam ko po meron pang natitirang fiesta na po pwedeng ganapin ng PAG-UNLAD. Ano po ito at kailan po kaya?
Okay, advance Merry Christmas, sir. But anyway, as far as I could remember, dapat merong dalawang fiesta pa. Yun yung cluster fiesta ng native pigs at saka come October 16, 15 or 16 yung cluster fiesta ng halal goat in Davao. So I think there was a meeting last week na they might be moving until next year yung cluster fiesta ng native pig para lang mawala nga yung mga agam-agam ng tao about yung health problem ng mga baboy. But yung cluster fiesta for halal goat will happen in October. Matutuloy yun. So far yun yung more or less maalala kong mga fiestang naka-schedule.
Yung last year, yung pangalawa, yung tungkol sa pig. Native pig ba yun, sir?
Yung native pig. So medyo pinapa-water down muna natin yung issue ngayon about yung, sabi ko, yung prevailing health problem. Kasi lagi nilang ina-associate yung problema ngayon dun sa mga backyard racers, and then at baka ma-associate yung native pig dun sa mga backyard. So ganon. And then of course, kung ang players dun sa native pig will be coming from Samar, so it might require transport of animals from eastern, from the Visayas. So sabi namin, baka it might not happen if we are going to hold it here out in October or within this year. Or it might require transport of animals from Isabela and Nueva Vizcaya, baka malabo din. So kaya talaga medyo restricted yung movement of animals.
By next year na siguro?
Next year. So, baka lang yun lang yung matandaan ko kayo yung fiesta na natitira. Thank you.
Next question. Yes, please.
Yes po. Sir, it's a good news that we rank number 54 on Global Innovation Index po. And then, tanong ko lang,
Please come closer to the microphone.
Yes po. Ito pong diniscuss ka na M2 Malunggay, is pasok po ba siya sa creative goods and service? Kasi we rank from 104, naging fourth na number 40 na po tayo. And how it contribute to boost our rank?
Hindi po marinig. So,
Yung
please.
M2 Malunggay po kanina na
M2 Malunggay.
Yes po.
Correct.
Pasok po ba dun sa creative goods and service po natin?
Sabi ko nga kanina, hindi natin alam ang detalye kung paano sila nag-rating. Ano? Siguro naman kasali yung mga ganyang innovative products.
Last question.
Hello po, I'm Bel Sorara from Eagle Broadcasting Corporation. Kay Engineer Raul Sabularse. Sir, among the technologies po ng inyong ahensya, alin po dun yung mga nakakontribute po para po makapasok ang DOST sa rank number 54 po?
Katulad na nabanggit ni Secretary, hindi natin alam lahat ng mga criteria na ginamit. But we have invested a lot, sabi natin, sa mga advanced technology or emerging technology. I think space technology is one of them na nakakontribute. Una, marami ang collaboration. Hindi lang tayo ang gumagawa niyan. We collaborate with advanced countries like Japan and some universities in Japan. We have other countries as well collaborating with the space program. And I think as far as other countries are concerned, hindi naman lahat mayroong space program. And I think big contributor yan.
Very last question.
Yes, good morning. Congratulations to the Philippines, to the DOST for ranking number 54 in Innovation Global Index. My question is
Taas
related
na
to...
natin yung microphone.
Yes.
Yeah.
My question is related to Miss Bel Sorara. What organization po ang naggawa nito? Is it a third-party assessor?
Sabi ko na kanina, the World Intellectual Property, WIPO, ang Cornell University, at saka ang INSEAD. INSEAD is the French Management School, INSEAD.
Okay, sir. The last question is, do we have scientists who made it in Nobel Prize?
Wala pa.
Wala pa po. Thank you po.
All right, so thank you very much, members of the media, our friends. This is an ongoing conversation that we will have. Unfortunately, time has run out on us for this afternoon's interaction. So we put an end here. We'd like to thank the good secretary for his time and our resource persons, Engineer Sabularse, Dr. Villar, our Balik scientist, Dr. Pascual, our guests from makers of M2, which will be in your souvenir kit, all right? So Jojo and Sonito, and to all the staff also of DOST and agencies who are here, thank you all very much for your time.
Tapos na po, pero papahinga lang ako dito.